Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got part, I believe this is part 4 of how to make 99 Nights in the Forest. So a lot of people have been asking for this, asking for a sequel to this. So here's what I've done so far. One, I made it so the party leader can leave the party. That's just with the button. I think people seem to forget that if you're the party leader, you can just walk out of like the the space, but I just made it so that there's a button so that they can leave. I added a sack tool as well as a storage inventory system and stuff. Now you can pick stuff up and drop stuff as well. And then I fixed a bug with the axe system. No one pointed out to me. I just realized it when I was testing and stuff. Where pretty much let's say you tried to use the axe but you didn't hit anything, it would pretty much not remove the cooldown. So yeah. So you guys already know, if you continue to show the series love and support, I will continue dropping more and more videos. If it doesn't get support, I will not continue the series and stuff. But let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Okay, so first things first, as you can see, we're in our lobby place. We'll be here for literally 2 seconds. So you're just gonna open up the server script. We're just gonna change one thing. You're just gonna scroll down to around line 80. Right here, when pretty much when we create the party after we set the countdown started value to true, just press enter right here. Then we'll fire the remote event, core event, fire client, singular that specific player, comma, in quotation marks, you'll put party, then comma, in quotation marks, enable leave. So that's just enabling the leave button for the party leader or creator, whatever you call them. But yeah, so enable leave, right? And then we can go ahead and press play, and then go over here. You'll see if I create a party, now I have the option to leave with the button. Boom, right? So that's simple. So once you're done, go ahead and just publish your changes. And now we can move on to the our map place, our other place. So click view at the top, asset manager icon right there. You're just gonna click places, then open your map, whatever you called it. You can name it whatever you want. Open that up. Then once we get there, let's get to the stuff. Okay, so first thing first, I already have the sack. As you can see, if I drag it to workspace, boom, I already have the sack. Now to explain what I did, literally, I didn't make this. I just went to the toolbox, right? I just searched up sack, right? I got a sack, right? All I did was I got a sack, right? This is literally the same way I made this. So I got a sack, right? You want to make sure all of the parts in the sack, you want to make sure can collide is disabled as well as it being anchored. You want to make sure that's all disabled. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to create a tool, right? So I'm gonna move my sack tool back to the starter pack so I can show you guys. But yeah, so we have our part. I'm just gonna rename this part to sack, right? Then what you want to do is you want to insert a tool into the workspace. So boom, and you can just name this to sack, right? This will be our tool. You can drag the sack part into the sack tool, right? Then what you want to do is you want to insert another part into said tool. So just insert a part, and then you just want this part. This is going to be your handle. So this is essentially going to be where you want the player's hand to be when they're holding the sack. So I'm just gonna drag this up and just put it at like the bottom so that it's not the bottom. So like right there. Okay, perfect. Then we'll just move it like that. Oh, did not mean to do that. So just move it like that, move it over, and then now I would just scale it to just make it a lot smaller. So like that. So I want to go over to the middle. I keep pressing the wrong thing. Over to the middle, and then down like that, and then yeah, so something like that, right? This will be your handle. So just rename this part to handle. Disable can collide, disable anchored, make sure anchored is not enabled. You can set the transparency to 1, right? Then oh wait, that's actually too far over. Let me move this. You want it to be kind of centered in the middle, right? And you don't have to use the specific sack model. You just have to make sure all the sack parts are inside of the sack tool and that they're all welded together and that there is a handle part. So we're going to weld this. So you're going to insert a weld constraint into the handle. Part 0 should be the handle. Part 1 should be the sack. And then now all you got to do is just drag the sack tool over to starter pack and then you should be good to go. So yeah, I'm just going to delete that because I already have it set up. But yeah, so as you can see, exact same way I made mine and stuff. So it's pretty simple, right? Okay, so moving on from there, we do need to add one UI element, stack text label, which is just gonna say press F to drop items and stuff whenever you have the stack equipped. So scroll down, open Starter GUI, Core GUI, then you're just gonna insert a text label. You can rename this text label to stack text label, right? Then I'm just gonna drag this down to the bottom right. Set the text to bold, bold text, rich text, scale text, set the text to drop F, or sorry, press F to drop. Or actually, no, I think it's just F to drop, actually. I think that's what it is in active game, just F to drop. But yeah, so then I'm just gonna set the text color to white, text stroke color to black, text stroke transparency to 0. By the way, that's all optional properties. You guys can set the color and whatnot. And fonts and all that is up to you guys. All that matters is the name. Then background transparency will be set to 1, and then I'm going to make it so it is not visible. We're going to make it so that the text label is only visible whenever we equip the stack. Then one other thing. So open up server storage. So inside of your object folder, inside of each object, right? If you want an object to be able to be picked up, you need to make sure you have this value inside. So just like if we go to the tree log over here and you have this object type value, right? We're going to want to copy this. We want this also inside of like objects that you can pick up, right? So paste this into for example into my log, but you're gonna paste this to all of your objects, right? Then you want to set this value to pick up. Oh my bad. To pick upable. I know that doesn't make much sense, but we're gonna. Oh my bad. Actually, it's supposed to say just pick upable. Pick. Damn, I keep spelling this wrong. Pick upable. Okay, there we go. So that means it can be picked up, right? That simple. So any object that you have that you want to be able for you want players to be able to pick it up, insert an object type value, which or sorry, insert a string value and then just name it to object type. So insert a string value, name it to object name set its name to object type, and then just set its value to pickable. So that pickupable. So that it knows that you can pick up that object. So boom. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to the scripting. So go ahead, open up Starter Player scripts. All right, my bad, guys. I made a mistake and accidentally had the wrong script, but that's besides the point. So like I was saying, with the local script, right? We're back now. So first thing first, head over to the local script. After the tween service, we're gonna create a new variable for the user input service. So we're gonna say local UIS is equal to game get service user input service. We're gonna need this to detect whenever the player is trying to drop an item. So let's go down here and set up the stuff for the sack. So literally just like we did with the axe, we're gonna set that stuff up. So create a variable for our sack is equal to player dot backpack wait for child sack, right? Then you'll say sack dot activated connect function close parentheses press enter. You're gonna first get the player's mouse position, so mouse position is equal to player get mouse dot hit dot position. Then you'll create a variable for the target, which pretty much means like the object that the player made contact with, if it made contact with anything. Target is equal to player get mouse dot target. Then you will say if target, so if it made contact with any kind of target, if it intersected any kind of target, and target find first child object type, so which means it is an object that can be modified in some kind of way, either destroyed or picked up or whatnot. And obviously we need to make sure that we're going to say target dot object type dot value is equal to pickupable. Obviously make sure this matches the same exact value you have here, right? Press enter. Then you'll fire the remote event, core event, fire server in quotation marks. So be name of the event will be inventory, then the inventory event will just simply be add. So name of the inventory event will be add because we're adding an item to our inventory, and then send over the target, which is just the object pretty much. Then you're gonna go after that function, then we're gonna make it so that when the sack is equipped, so connect function, close parentheses, then you'll say core GUI dot sack text label dot visible will be set to true. Then the great thing is literally just copy and paste, Control C, Control V, change equipped to unequipped, and then just change true to false. This makes it so that when you unequip the sack, we will disable the text label's visibility. It will not be visible anymore. Then lastly, we're going to make it so that you can drop items. So we'll say UIS that input began, colon connect function, in parentheses put input, comma processed. Press enter, then you'll say if input dot user input type is equal to enum dot user input type dot keyboard and not process which pretty much means the player is not typing in chat. Press enter, then you would say if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode. You can set the keybind to whatever you want it to be. I'm just gonna set it to the same keybind as the actual game, so F. And then one last thing we need to say, we need to check, and sack.parent is equal to player.character. Because obviously if you're pressing the F key, obviously if you're pressing the F key, it's supposed to be two equal signs. But obviously if you're checking the my brain just turned off. So if the sack is parented to the player's backpack and stuff, that means they don't have it equipped. It's just in their tool. It's just it's a tool. It's in the toolbar, but they don't have it equipped. If it's in their character, if it's parented to their character, then that means they have it equipped. So then press enter, right? Then after that you would say core event fire server, same thing, inventory, comma, drop. Then it'll just, drop whatever, it'll just drop one of the items, right? And then boom, we're done with the local script. Now let's move on to the server script. Okay, so open up the server script, right? Then let me just make sure we're good. Okay, we're good. Okay, so then you're gonna go right here, right? So after the cooldown folder, you're then gonna create the inventory folder. So you can really just copy and paste here. So sometimes I'll just copy the cooldown folder. So copy, paste, just put a space right there, and then just rename this to inventory. Then just select it, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, right? Then we're gonna go down to the core event. Boom. We're gonna need to add a second argument. So arg2, right? Scroll down, or actually, yeah, I didn't need to fix this. Okay, so you see how we have the task.delay right here, right? This stuff, so you're just gonna just copy this part, or just cut it, right? Copy and delete, or just cut. Then you're gonna skip that end, one end. You're gonna skip that one end, paste. The whole point is when you click this arrow right here, right? It should be on the outside of this if statement. It should be on the outside of this if statement, right? I had it on the inside, which was my mistake. I did that by mistake, instead of putting it on the outside, but yeah. So we fixed that issue. Then we can just go here, click the arrow right here. Then we'll go right before, so right before the last three ends, press enter. Then you'll say else if event type is equal to inventory, press enter, right? Then of course we're gonna you know, create a variable for the inventory event, which is equal to arg1. Then after that you'll say if inventory event is equal to in quotation marks add, press enter. Then the object will be set to arg2, right? Then we'll keep track of how much of that object you have, because obviously you could have more than one of an object in your inventory. You could have multiple logs, multiple carrots, multiple meat, beef, whatever you get from killing animals and stuff like that. So we'll say if not player.inventory, colon find first child, object.name, it's supposed to be a lowercase I. So find first child. So if you don't find, you know, any object, then that means we need to create the value. So we're going to say inventory value is equal to instance.new, right? And then you will say number value, because so we'll set the name of the object, and then we'll set inventory value. Since this is your first one, you're just gonna say is equal to 1. Then you'll say inventory value dot parent is equal to player dot inventory. Then you'll say else if player dot inventory colon find first child. Then you just put object.name. So if you already have one or more of the object, then you're just simply increasing it by 1. You're just incrementing it by 1. So then you're just going to say inventory value is equal to player.inventory find first child object.name, right? Then you're simply just going to say inventory value plus equal 1. So you're just incrementing it by 1. Then after that, oh my bad, it's supposed to be on the outside of the else if. So you're going to go after that end, then you'll destroy the object. So object destroy, since you now store it, or now have it stored, right? Then after that, press enter, then you'll say else if inventory event is equal to drop. And press enter, right? And then you need to first check to see, you need to make sure that a player has items in their inventory. So you'll say if $ player dot inventory get children, close parentheses, is greater than 0, which means they have at least one item in their inventory. Press enter, then create a variable for the object name. I just want to format this because it's honestly it's throwing me off. So one second, let me format this real quick. Looks so much better. Okay, so we have the object name, right? And then now we're going to decide that. So we're going to use a for loop before I, comma v and I pairs. Then you'll just simply say player dot inventory get children will get all of the items inside of the inventory system. So close parentheses, press enter. Then you would just simply say object name is equal to v dot name, right? Then after that for loop, you would then search for the said object. So object to be equal to object folder. As you recall, object folder is what we have inside of server storage, which holds all your objects. Then you'll say find first child object name. So we'll see if we can find said object, right? Then you'll say if object, if we can find said object, then we will clone it. Object is equal to object clone, right? Then you will say object.parent is equal to workspace, object pivot to, you will set its C-frame to player.character dot humanoid root part dot C-frame, times cframe dot new -1 comma -1 comma -5, which is just it's just a few studs in front of the player, so it'll spawn in front of the player, right? And then lastly, we need to find the inventory value. So inventory value is equal to player dot inventory. Since we already know it exists, player dot inventory. You just put object name, right? And then we need to check. We need to see if the inventory value is greater than 1. If it's greater than 1, press enter. Then that means, we're just gonna decrement it. I don't know if it's decrement or decrement. I think it's decrement. You're just gonna say inventory value dot value is less than or equal to 1, right? Pretty much you're just gonna make it go down by 1. Then else if inventory value dot value is equal to 1, then that means it was the last one, so we instead destroy said value. So inventory value destroy, and then boom. So that's it, guys. Let's go ahead and test to ensure everything is working just fine. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts or models, just read the description to find out how to gain access to any one of my scripts or models. Okay, so first things first, we have the stack, as you can see, right? If I press F, nothing is happening. Okay, so if I walk over to the tree, swing the axe a few times, knock it down, right? Now, right, if I have the stack and then I left click, as you can see, I cannot store. Wow, that's interesting. Um, I must have spelled something. I know I did. I know it has something to do. I must have done that. Pick. Is that the same thing? That is the same thing. Huh. Interesting. Guys, I must have done something wrong. If target and target found first child. Object type. Um, hmm. Yeah, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit confused. If number value object destroy. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, okay, guys, well, we need to figure this out. Let's see. Is this working? So we're just gonna print debug this to figure out whatever the issue is. That is very strange. Okay, so let's see. If I walk over to the tree, I swing the axe a few times, knock it down, and then let's see. Okay, so it is recognizing that it is an object. It's firing the remote event. We're going here. I knew it. My bad, guys. I knew it. I had a feeling. Okay, my bad, guys. My bad. So I did this part wrong. It's supposed to be the else is supposed to be on the outside. I accidentally put it inside of the if. Okay, so right here where it says else if event type is equal to inventory. Yeah, no. That that should have an end after it. So to fix this, all I should have to do is just do this. Okay, so to fix this, right, all you should have to do is just simply go after this end right here, after the whole cooldown stuff, right? You're gonna just put a regular end, which will give you an error, and then you go down here, and then you just get rid of any one of these ends that obviously is not the last one, not the one with the right parenthesis, right? It's one of those. Okay, so that should fix it now. So that now it should be on the outside. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if event type is equal to else if combat event, yeah. Okay, there we go. Now that's fixed. Okay, much better. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So now we should be good to go. My bad. All right, so then I'll walk over here. We will try this one more time. Cut the tree down. Okay. I think I forgot to delete the print statement. Not gonna lie. I did. Get rid of that. Okay, so you're gonna walk over. As you can see, I can pick stuff up. If I go to players and then the log is rolling away. But as you can see in the inventory, it keeps track of how many logs I have. I can also, there we go. I now have 2 and now I have 3. If I press F to drop, nothing happens. Okay, that is wonderful. For some reason, they are not being dropped. If if number of player and target children is greater than 0. Um, hmm. I am cloning the object, right? Yep. Object is equal to object clone. Yeah, parented to workspace, which means we're not making it this far, is equal to v.name, and that's what I set that to. That's where our name is equal to object.name. Yep, I don't know why it's working. I'll have to figure that out. You guys hold on for 1 second. So it turns out I didn't do anything wrong with the code. I don't know why it was doing that. I don't know if it's like a rare bug or something. If you guys are experiencing a bug where it sometimes doesn't pick up stuff, let me know and I'll figure that out. Or sorry, not pick up stuff, drop stuff. Pickup seems to be consistent. If you guys find out, or if you guys experience like an issue where like every now and then it doesn't allow you to drop stuff, because look, I didn't change anything. All I did was stop testing and then just press play again. And then as you can see, pick up and drop, or well, drop, because pickup works just fine. Drop works just fine, so I don't understand. But if you guys see there's any issues, just let me know. I'll investigate and stuff. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe. Like I said, I will continue the how to make 99 nights in the forest series and stuff, as long as you guys show this series love and support and stuff. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like and subscribe and everything. If you're interested in getting access to any one of my scripts or models, just simply read the description to find out how to get access to that. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching.